Well, hello and welcome to Outdoor Oklahoma. I'm Todd Craighead. The ODWC's Outdoor Oklahoma magazine has been a staple for wildlife enthusiasts for nearly 80 years, making it one of the longest running published magazines in the nation. It's one of our agency's crown jewels that we're most proud of. Its photography and writing is critically acclaimed by its peers, and it wins awards every year. But what we're most proud of is the connection that it continues to bridge for those who appreciate wildlife with the ODWC. Today, this is our 660th issue rolling off the press. And while our society is moving away from printed publications and more towards digital media, the Outdoor Oklahoma magazine continues to have a strong and loyal following with subscribers in all 50 states. And for just $10 a year, it's another reason to love Oklahoma and the adventures that await you.
I'll sum it up with two words: explore and adventure. And to me, being a game warden is just the epitome of those.
When you find a job you love, you'll never have to work a day in your life.
This is my office.
We joke all the time. We'll take a picture of a pretty sunset or of an eagle flying over, say this is our office, you know, and it really is.
I never know what the day's gonna bring me. I'll leave the house and drive down the road. I never know what the next turn in the road is gonna be.
If you're pursuing a career as an Oklahoma State game warden, first of all, you've got to love your office space, and this is my office. An Oklahoma State game warden requires a 4-year degree and
At least 12 hours of wildlife-related classes.
we are state law enforcement officers, so we not only protect and serve the sportsmen and wildlife, but we also protect and serve the people of Oklahoma.
Physically, you know, you need to be in shape, being able to climb up stuff, get around things.
You're put through an extensive training with our department where we deal with laws, we deal with scenario-based issues. We put you in really awkward and adverse conditions to see how you're going to react.
You might have to, you know, hike up a mountain, and you might have to swim, you might have to drag a deer.
You have to be cleat certified, which is what any officer in the state of Oklahoma has to go through. We're probably one of the best trained officers out there for all different types of situations.
One of the things that I like about being a game warden is it's a challenge. You can be challenged with the court system, you can be challenged with law changes, you can be challenged with the technology, but there's always something, if you're interested and motivated, there's always something new to learn.
Marine survival, boat training, ATV training, driving training. We have a defensive tactics where you learn how to basically take care of yourself in a really bad situation.
Someone that wants to be a game warden, they're gonna be an outdoor enthusiast. They're gonna love the outdoors. They're gonna be somebody that's interested in the resource, and I think that kind of comes from hunting and fishing a lot. They're gonna be somebody that wants to be involved in their community.
We've got more flexibility than probably any other job, especially law enforcement job. I patrol in a truck, patrol in a boat, patrol on an ATV, and I patrol on horseback. So being an Oklahoma game warden can be quite exciting at times, especially when you make a case, you contact the right people, things can get western pretty quick.
We do sting operations. We will run dummy deer, dummy turkeys. We will run all different kinds of decoys in order to catch violators in areas that we know we have problems.
If you love to hunt and fish, if you love to be outdoors, I mean, there's no better job in my opinion.
If you're thinking of becoming a game warden, you got to realize that there's times where it is fast, it can be stressful, you can struggle at times, but you got to look at the other side of it. It could be the greatest reward you could ever do, thinking that you could be helping the public, you're helping keep the county safe, the wildlife safe, and you're also creating a family within the wildlife department. If you really like to be out on the boat, checking fishermen, checking duck hunters, being on the water, being free, if you really like to patrol a WMA and see cool things like a waterfall, if you really like contacts with the public, you really like chasing spotlighters, if you really like such a diverse job that one day is completely different than the other day, you should apply to be a game warden.
So if the outdoors, wildlife, and our fish populations are important to you, protecting those is a very worthwhile cause. And if your answer to those is, yes, that's important to me, then being a game warden is for you. And working for the Oklahoma Department of Wildlife Conservation is the answer.
I love my job. I love what I do. It's hard to say that I work a day in my life when I'm extremely passionate about what I do every day. If you think you're somebody that loves the outdoors and a game warden sounds like something you'd want to do, come on, join our family. We'd be glad to have you.
Whoa! That is a nice one. Bite him slow, don't break your line. Hey. Okay, don't get him up here on the bank. Be sure to keep him in that water. Okay. Nice fish. Man. One thing I've instilled in my kids is the experience is what it's all about. You don't have to come out and fill the basket, fill a stringer, or fill the boat full of fish. It's that you get to go. And a lot of you are watching today, I mean, your kids just want to go. So take them out and they'll catch some fish. And I think I've kind of convinced them you'll have fun, and occasionally you might catch a fish. So it's not about the catching or the killing or the shooting, it's about the going. Another thing is you can't catch them if you don't go. So I hope I've done a good job there, and after every fishing trip, whether we catch fish or not, I remind them, I usually say the first part of the quote, and it's not that we caught fish, it's what? And they know it's that we got to go. So take them out there, and it's about the going, not the catching. It's not that you catch a lot of fish.
It's that you get to go.
Right. Or it's not that you get to shoot a lot of ducks or doves. It's what?
That you get to go.
It's all about the going. Hey, now that was a big cast. That looks like a good one. He's gonna break his line if he doesn't watch it. Bring him over, that looks like a nice one.
Yeah.
Boy.
He's good.
Did he fight?
Oh yeah.
Man. Gee. Thing may break my line. I don't have a very big line on here. Whoa, look at him. He's feisty. Check that one out, guys.
Whoa. 3-pounder.
What? That thing will go 4 something or 5.
Okay.
4. Okay, Cooper. That's what you're fishing for. It's kind of nice to catch a fish every now and then. I usually spend all my time baiting hooks and tying line and fixing reels. When these guys were smaller, I didn't even care to catch fish. I wanted them to catch them all, but now they're getting good enough that I got to catch one every now and then. They're about to decide I don't know how to fish. They think they just turned pro overnight. They forgot where they learned it. So every now and then, if I catch more fish, it doesn't bother me anymore. Because if they catch more, I hear about it for the next few days. Good cast. Be ready for action.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I got that one.
That is a bigger biggin.
Whoa.
Okay, don't reel it clear to the top.
I'm not.
That's how you used to do it when you're like 3. You'd reel the fish right through the front eye.
Here, hold that, and I'll get him.
Okay, I'll do that for you. That is a nice fish. Just pop it just a little. I wouldn't have bet anything you had that one. You're making that look fun. I'm gonna have to switch over there. Oh. Give us a release. All right, you're making that look way too easy.
I'm gonna have this.
Fight him fair. Good fishing.
Yeah.
Somebody, you're spoiled.
Look out, help me.
What do you think of that, Coop? Was that fun or what? That right there shows you patience. You're wanting to change lures every 5 to 10 minutes. If you just leave your lure on there and keep beating the water, you'll catch him. Hold him up. That's a good one. Let me see it. Man, that will go about 5. How old were you when you started fishing?
3.
3?
3.
Maybe
3.
2. How old were you when you started going fishing with it?
When I started going?
When you first went, first time?
2.
Diapers?
2.
I think we took worms, candy bars, and diapers.
No, that was Weston.
Oh. These guys have been fishing since they were old enough to walk. When I was growing up, we rode our bikes down to a little creek, and about all we could do is catch green sunfish, but we'd spend hours and hours down there with a Zebco 33 and a cheap fiberglass pole and fish, fish, fish. And I guess the fishing and the hunt bug stayed with me throughout my childhood and adult years, and I think it's real important that we keep the kids of today in some really positive activities like fishing. I know we got a lot of competition from everything from football, baseball, lots of sports, and these kids are involved in all that also, but there's nothing like a day on the pond fishing for anything. You don't have to catch much. A pole and a little water and a worm or two is a great thing, and it can be remembered by a kid forever. I can remember some of my fishing trips when I was 6, 7 years old, and they were like they were yesterday. We're out here today catching these bluegill. They're about hand size, and we're throwing them back, and we're also catching a lot of bass, but the main thing is that they're catching and having a good time. Main thing I found with these kids is keep it entertaining. If you're fishing with really young kids, keep it short and take lots of snacks and drinks and keep them comfortable. You don't want to burn them out, but it's hard to burn out a kid on a fishing trip if the fish are biting. I didn't think there'd ever be anything better than catching a 5 or 6 pound bass, but there is. And it's seeing a kid catch a 5 or 6 ounce bluegill or a 5 pound bass. So I think once you get to the period where you enjoy the kids and watching them catch fish, it really becomes a true satisfaction and a love. And I'm kind of there, so I don't care if I catch another fish, but I like to give them a hard time when I do. You see it swirl?
Yeah.
That was a fish now. Go down the bank, go down toward the dam. Watch where you... Hey, that's looking good. What are you doing? You're in a beaver hole. Flashed it down my back. Get out of there. Please. Oh, he's going in that log.
You get another one?
Oh yeah! Yes!
Man, I got a, what they call that, a professional overrun.
That's what Randy said.
Where'd you fall into? Oh, great.
I got one, Dad. Dad, I got one.
Fish on?
Yeah.
All right. Find it.
Hey everyone, Todd Judkins here, upland game biologist with the Oklahoma Department of Wildlife Conservation. I'm coming to you today from my kitchen as I go through some of these quail wings from this previous season that we collected through our Wingbox program. This program really helps us to get a lot of demographic data from not only our hunters but our birds as well, so we can learn things like what the average covey size was that a hunter encountered, or how long a hunter stayed in the field, or even how far a hunter was traveling to get to that specific WMA. Currently we collect wings on WMAs like Beaver and Optima and Pack Saddle, Cooper, Caw, Drummond Flats, several of our WMAs around the state. And these wings can really help us to learn a lot about our quail that are being harvested and quail that are out and about on our WMAs. We can learn what the sex was of each bird, what the age was of each bird, whether it was an adult or a juvenile, and things like that. These birds, the hunter had actually put down that there were 11 birds of unknown sex. So they had probably clipped the wings and had already dressed out the birds before they started filling out the survey. But that's okay. I can do things like going through the wings here, and if you see right here on these little wing tips, there's a little white tip. And that tells me that that's a juvenile bird. Also, right here in what would be kind of the shoulder, or actually the elbow of the bird, there's these little tight black lines. That's called vermiculation. That means that this was a juvenile male. So if we flip it over to the other side, we can see that none of the feathers are actively growing in. So that means that this bird is a juvenile male that's over 150 days old. Likewise, for, let's see here, this wing right here, there are no white tips. So this is an adult bird. So really no way to know whether it's 1 year old or 2 year old or 3 year old or how old exactly it is, but we do know that it's an adult. On the other side of it, here we have another juvenile. We can see the white tips, and there's a feather right here that's still growing in. So if we flip the wing over and we go to the back side, we can see what's called a sheath or a pin feather still growing back there. If we measure that, it comes to about 57 millimeters. So 57 millimeters on the 8th primary. So that's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On the 8th primary, that means that this bird is approximately 125 days old. And since it was harvested on November 15th, we know that it was hatched right around July 13th. So why is that important? Well, from that, we can go back and look at rainfall data or drought or anything like that to figure out, was the timing of that hatch impacted by some weather event? If we get enough of that data together, we can start to see trends and really start to learn more about our quail. We talked about whether it was an adult, male or female or juvenile. This one, you'll see right here in this shoulder patch or elbow patch, there's not really any of those really tight black lines or vermiculation. So this is actually a juvenile female that was that 125-day-old bird. So a few things that you can do when you're in the field is look for those white tips or these feathers that are growing in, and learn a little bit more about your quail right after you harvest them. There are some hopes that in the future we're able to take these wings and do some genetic studies with them to really be able to look at how the genetics of our birds are being impacted by habitat management or lack of habitat management to make sure that we do have the healthiest birds that we're able to have here in Oklahoma. So next time you're out in the outdoors, grab an envelope, fill it out, and good luck this next season.
Hi guys, this is Gary from H&L Processing, Colgate, Oklahoma. I own a local processing plant here, H&L Processing. We've been in business about 7 or 8 years. The Oklahoma Wildlife Department puts on a program called the Hunters Against Hunger. You bring a deer to us, we process it, and we put it to a local food bank. We have a little bit of simple paperwork to fill out. Once it's filled out, we'll take care of the rest. It's a program that our communities need. There's a lot of people around here that could use this meat. Each deer that's brought in, say just a mature doe, will probably net 25 pounds of meat or 28 pounds of meat. And that's a lot of meat going to our local community. I remember when I was a kid and growing up that I really enjoyed the camaraderie and going and seeing all the big deer that was checked in at the old check-in stations. Your local processors are mainly the same thing. We have all the deer, all the people here. We have a good time, we throw contests, we do anything we can to have a good time and promote this. I challenge the other processors as well as hunters to get out there and get all the donated meat you can.
Well, we hope today's stories remind you that Oklahoma is such a perfect place to explore. So no matter how you choose to enjoy our incredible natural world, remember, your adventure starts with Outdoor Oklahoma television and magazine. Okay. Outdoor Oklahoma is produced by the Oklahoma Department of Wildlife Conservation and is proud to serve and be funded entirely by sportsmen and women and outdoor enthusiasts who love and appreciate all things wild in the great state of Oklahoma.